So, you guys that know me know that I am a pretty big fan of YouTube. I think that YouTube is a really great place to get discovered. And the very astute among you, the Jedi Padawans, will know that the reason I believe that is because YouTube has a pretty big audience that they could potentially filter through, right? So YouTube has how many users? It's like 1 point something billion users. It's a lot of people, a seventh of the earth or whatever, probably more. So if you search something on YouTube, you search something like top League of Legends plays or top team fight tactics, right? You can get a video, then gets you discovered. And like, not all of these people are like huge influencers, although for this type of keyword, like quite a few are. But if you scroll down, like you can find people that like, you know, they're like smaller creators or whatever. Probably not on this keyword, but we can type something like team fight tactics, best champion, combo 2019. And then we'll find probably like a smaller creator. Like here's one right here. So a guy that gets like, you know, 20K views and just has like a few subs. So the point is like, this is not the biggest creator. He only has 28,000 subscribers versus like Skara or someone, right? But he appears pretty early in the search results, actually number 3, because he's bidding for this keyword. So this is a very interesting power that YouTube has. So Facebook has the same power. Facebook has about 2 billion users. And they can drive users to content based on an algorithm that determines content relevance. So the thing that these platforms have going for them is, and let's just like real quick, since I like to do this, we'll break out the market share here. I think this is always worth doing. So again, we have Twitch. Let's get the numbers real quick. Twitch is 75.6%. Mixer is 3.2%. Facebook is 3.7% of the market. And YouTube gaming is 17.6%. And because some people are OCD, we'll put this in descending order. So Facebook does actually do better numbers than Mixer. Somewhat questionable as to like how they derive these numbers and how they get that. But Facebook actually does better than Mixer most of the time in terms of like how they get in terms of watched hours, in terms of people that are watching the content. So Facebook can actually drive a lot of users from Facebook who to the website now or to the stream. Sorry, it's a little bit disingenuous to say it's 2 billion users because obviously not every one of the Facebook users is interested in gaming, but a good amount are. You know, even if it's 100 million users, you know, even if it's 1/20th, that's still a really impressive number. And just like on YouTube, Fwiz has a data point where he says 200 million people are watching gaming content on YouTube every single day. Well, you might say, not all those people are interested in live content. True, but a good amount of them presumably are and are willing to watch creators live if they're kind of like called to action in the right way. So Facebook actually has this going for them, right? And the real thing, like the theme that happens, like when you see these streamers that are moving to these platforms, money is a driving factor and the reason why these people are moving, but it's not the only factor. And that's like one of the things that I want to talk about today. And I want to kind of like explain why some people might make the choice to stream on Facebook. When people complain about Facebook and YouTube, and I was looking at the responses today to a lot of the concerns about Disguised Toast streaming on Facebook. The number one concern was that the UI sucks. People think that the UI is not good. So they think that like Facebook is like really hard to use. Like when I just logged on here, I was trying to find the pause button. I couldn't do that for like a year. And that's the main concern. But UI is something that can be very easily fixed, right? So you can put a team on UI and you can redesign it and you can make it accessible. And that's like something that you can do with like relatively low effort compared to like a much bigger problem, like say trying to acquire new users for a website. That's a really hard thing to do. So in marketing, that's called user acquisition. User acquisition is something that like a lot of people will pay a lot of money for. For example, like mobile games will pay up to $50 per user to affiliates who bring users onto their games because that's how much the lifetime value of a customer is worth. User acquisition is really, really important for websites. And Twitch has a huge problem with user acquisition right now because they've sort of plateaued. The 75.6% of the market that they own, they can't get much more of it, and they can't seem to efficiently introduce new people into Twitch for whatever reason. So this is why you see the rebrand that they did was largely in the direction of trying to like address this problem, that Twitch is having a real problem like bringing new users into the website. Most of the users that are using Twitch are already here and they're already familiar with the platform. There's a huge market of potential people out there, but there's not more of them right now that are coming over to the platform. And we could get into reasons why that is. There's sort of like probably some like cultural barriers to it, just like understanding what Twitch is and like the education that's required. You guys are throwing up like too many like Pepe's and like memes and things like that that sort of like gatekeep people out from the familiarity of like feeling like a attention or brand to Twitch. It's hard to get introduced to Twitch at this point, and it's a problem that they have to address. So Facebook and YouTube have solved this problem because they already acquired their users from somewhere else, and the amount of value that that has cannot be understated. It's really important. So a lot of people don't realize that Facebook can actually drive a lot of users potentially to this to these streams. Also, things like the like real names on Facebook thing. This is for sure not going to be the case soon. They will have to go back on this, and I can say on good authority that they're most likely going to do this. And then there are some other advantages to streaming on Facebook that are pretty cool. So, for example, it's much easier to see a call to action here. You can post anything you want with links here. One of the things that I criticize Twitch for a lot is that I don't like that Twitch doesn't allow like some kind of thing like this where you can make like a text-based like call to like. Well, a really simple thing would be to allow links in your title. I think that'd be really cool. So like right now in my title, there's the discord.gg/Devin, but you can't physically click on that. Now you used to be able to do that, but Twitch disabled that. And it kind of like annoys me that they did this. So like that would be a good example of like how you give streamers more power to like do calls to action. And this is there are some like positive things about this, right? Also, the share function is really cool. The fact that you can instantaneously share this to an audience and then that goes out to their feeds. It's just a way more efficient system of discovery than Twitch has. So the problem that Facebook has right now is that a good amount of the people that are being shared this are just not educated on how to consume a live show or content. But there's a good amount that are, and as Facebook's algorithms get more sophisticated to drive people towards this, it actually could mean that Facebook streams do quite well. And I've actually talked to a lot of creators who are building brands on Facebook and doing it well. And it's because of these discovery functions. So these discovery functions are really far past Twitch, and the algorithms that support them are a lot better than on any other platform. That's why they're surpassing Mixer, because Mixer can only pull from like the Xbox crowd and the Microsoft crowd. And they have a real hard barrier to get someone who like uses Windows to watch Shroud. Like that jump, that chasm you have to cross from a marketing standpoint is like really tough, right? It's super hard to do that. It's easier to convert a person who already likes gaming, which Facebook can easily identify. Facebook knows everything about you, by the way, right? They literally know your dog's collar's size that your grandma gave and the color of that collar like last Christmas. They know all that. So Facebook can say, oh, all these people like gaming. We can, and actually, they can even get more granular than that. They can say, oh, all these people like teamfight tactics. They also like Asian men. They also like strategy and deep, like they can get this granular, right? Like deep topics, and they can get so specific. They go, hey, you may want to watch Disguised Toast. Dry comedy. Like you literally go into whatever. And then you go, yeah, I do like those things. And then I go and I watch this. So get out of the UI problem mindset, okay? It's really easy to dispense of that. It takes like a relatively small team of people to like do UI designs, and it's not a lot of invested effort. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted. Clap it up. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Bitcoin. And a donation. Appreciate that. So the UI thing is kind of a meme to me. It's not like a big deal. I don't think it applies to Facebook, and I don't think it applies to YouTube gaming. Don't think those things are important. I think UI can very easily be fixed, whereas problems that YouTube and Facebook have already solved, like user acquisition, are much harder problems for other platforms to fix, and will end up costing Twitch and Mixer in the long run, and already have to some extent. So let's talk about some really like tactical reasons that I put in my notes. We talked about the users. And let's talk about the personalization. Okay, I'll call it. So personalization refers to Facebook's willingness. If you pulled most versus Twitch, if you pulled most top tier broadcasters on this platform right now, on if they felt that Twitch was iteratively helping their stream by giving them opportunities, I promise you they would say that that's not the case. I think you as viewers intuitively know it's not the case. So I do some really cool stuff through Twitch. For example, the University of Utah thing was through Twitch yesterday. And that was like something that I do through a program at Twitch called Twitch Student, which is a really neat program run by a friend of mine named Garvey and his protege, a guy named Kevin. And Kevin was the one that set that up for me. So they're not my AMs, and they don't have like any I guess like authority or whatever like over the stream. It's just a cool thing that we do together, and that's largely because like I do those calls to action, like I respond to emails, and like I'm really hyper focused on that. But I don't think that anybody would really say that their AM is like providing them opportunities, and this is not the AM's fault. That's technically their job. So an account manager's job at Twitch is to find opportunities for partners to do, right? So it's like you as an AM have maybe at this point like 50 to 75 to even 100 partners under you. And your job is to create opportunities for them. Well, you've already seen the problem in what I just described, right? How the hell can you do opportunities for people when you have so many partners? And those are like, if you're managing even 20 major partners, you're not going to be able to like split you just have too much to do because you're too busy like trying to figure out why this guy was banned or like who showed an ass on their stream. And like, if that ass is like, you're trying to fight with trust and safety and like, you've got all this other stuff and all these other requirements through Twitch, like AMs are really overtaxed. I know a lot of them and they work really hard and it's too much for them to do of these things. It's more of how Twitch is set up, not their fault. AMs are usually fantastic people. And we actually have a Nerd Fusion AM that represents us and he's amazing. This is an awesome super guy. Always helps us out a lot. Except on the Dan Potty emote thing, which we still haven't forgiven you for. I know who you are. That was not cool. But it's not your fault. It's trust and safety's fault. But I'm really mad about it. Just want to say that. Okay. Anyway, so sorry. The point being that like Twitch is like not that willing to work with people simply because of just like the amount of people that they have. So the Facebook team is really willing to work with people. And we saw in Gathalion, like what King Gathalion, when he went to Mixer, he said that a big reason why he went to Mixer was because he felt like Microsoft was going to be more hands-on in the way that they like took care of him. They just give him more opportunities, give him speaking engagements because they're more invested in him. He's like, there's fewer broadcasters, especially at that level on the platform. And so it opens up a lot of like opportunities to do like really unique content. And Facebook has that too. Facebook has a gaming division. It's led by a guy named Patrick, and their gaming division is really serious. They have a lot of people that are trying to focus on this problem. We've talked about this in other videos before, but very quickly, why Amazon to a lesser extent, because like Amazon actually has the least buy-in and interest in doing this out of the other platforms, but Facebook, Google, and Microsoft have a vested interest in being a part of the live content space. They want to own the live content market because their company directly monetizes off of that. So like for Google, for example, how does Google make most of their money? It's ads, right? So AdWords is the back end of Google. And if you own the live streaming market, then you can make your ads worth more. So that's why Google has such a vested interest in making YouTube. It's one of the reasons why I think that they will never give up on YouTube like live. They will really try to make serious pushes into YouTube until they succeed. And Amazon may not have that staying power because Amazon is a shopping platform. They don't have like a sophisticated CPM system that is dependent on their revenue. They have subscription models. The reason why Amazon is bought in is because I believe this is public information, because I didn't get this from anybody I know at Amazon. This is actually something that I read. I believe that Twitch Prime is the biggest single driver of Prime subscriptions out of anything they do. So they get more Prime subscriptions as a result of Twitch Prime than they do from any other thing. And that's a big driver as to why Amazon would want to support Twitch. But what that means is that they're trying to support Twitch from a monetary standpoint to support their subscription model. They're less interested in owning the live streaming space. There's a lot of implications to that we can get into, but that's different from Google, say, that wants to physically own the space. They want to hold the audience because they are getting advertising revenue off of it. It's directly dependent on their business model. Very different, right? Microsoft, same thing, and same thing with Facebook. Facebook's direct model is ad-based, right? In this case, Mixer's model a little bit less so, because they make a lot of money off of Windows and what else Microsoft does, tons of stuff. But the point being that like Facebook and YouTube actually have the dog in this fight. They really want to win here. So that's a really important thing to know. That Facebook is going to work really hard to try to get these people to succeed. And they'll continue to do this. So they'll do the UI designs. They'll put in the money. They're not going to give up. They have to do this. Like they want to own the advertising here. They want to own that CPM system. Now maybe Amazon goes into the fight by developing a CPM system later. That would be really intelligent for them to do. They had a CPM system for their shopping for a while, but I think they depreciated at this point. Or right now the only thing is like the Amazon affiliates program. So right now they don't have a dog in the fight as much as YouTube and Facebook have. Google and Facebook, excuse me. Okay, so that's another reason why Disguised Toast might want to go to Facebook. Oh, some people in chat are asking, what is CPM? CPM is cost per mille, which literally means so cost per 1,000 impressions. So it's an advertising term that means how much essentially are 1,000 impressions worth. And there are these internal algorithms and metrics that value keywords based on their essentially supply and demand. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. Okay, so another reason for this might be the personalization aspect, and then the other thing, I've got only a few minutes. So the other thing that I want to bring up real quickly is something that I'm not sure applies to Toast. I would guess that it doesn't apply to Toast, but for the vast majority of broadcasters, Facebook contracts aren't exclusive. This is really important. I 100% believe for the amount of money they're paying for Disguised Toast that this is not the case. That is almost 100% an exclusive contract. But if you are a partner on Facebook, Facebook contracts are actually not exclusive for you for most of the time, and this includes paid contracts. So Facebook will pay you to be on their platform, and then they'll make it not exclusive. So this is a really crazy idea, right? Because what it means is that you can co-stream on YouTube, and you can co-stream on Mixer, and co-stream on Caffeine or wherever else you want, and then you can get way more exposure that way because you're on multiple platforms at different times. And what my like pipe dream, like the thing that I would absolutely love to have happen to Twitch, is that they get so crunched that they absolutely have to rescind their exclusivity, because I think it is the biggest FU to streamers that there is. Like, we're not going to treat you as employees. We're going to treat you as contractors, but we own the rights to your content exclusively, and you can't stream anywhere else. Make no mistake, my friends, the only reason they are doing that is because that is beneficial to them as a business. That is absolutely terrible for creators. If I could co-stream on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, I would absolutely increase my viewership, my revenue, and every metric that's positive for me. But Twitch will not let you do that, because to do that is literally the death toll for their platform. If they do that, then and another platform starts doing better, they're going to lose market share like crazy. So they will never do this. But I cannot express to you how frustrating it is to deal with Twitch exclusivity. So the idea that Facebook contracts aren't exclusive in many cases is really, really encouraging. It's really cool. Again, I spend a lot of time being difficult on Twitch here. Twitch is the biggest platform for a reason, and is still leading the space in terms of like just everything. There are a lot of things that Twitch does right. They monetize streamers. You can make money as a Twitch streamer better on this platform than I think you can on any other platform. And I also think that the CDN system, so the delivery system for Twitch, is better than anywhere else. Like the platform from an engineering perspective is masterful. That's very good. But there's just a lot of problems with like discovery and other problems, things like that. When I say CDN, I mean content delivery. So the ability for me to serve you content is better on Twitch than anywhere else, right? Like Twitch almost never goes down. Chat is up 24/7. It's very rare that something like this happens. So Twitch is like really good in that way. Okay. So when you're looking at something like this, these are just some of the considerations as to why someone like Disguised Toast would go to Facebook. Do you think it's even legal for them to force exclusivity even during a ban? I absolutely do not think this is legal. No. And I wait for the day, but nobody will ever challenge it. Who would fight Amazon, right, in court? You can't. An individual streamer, they get demolished. It would just be a very one-sided fight. Nobody will ever take them up on this. They'll have to respond to market pressure to get rid of this. I'd probably make the same. I don't know if I would make the same decision, but it's extremely tempting to make the same decision because all of the money is in this, so it's very material to their business. But is a collab stream 5 from EbTech? Thank you very much. Is a collab stream between Facebook and YouTube streamers and Twitch streamers, example, because Scara stream with Twitch? That would depend on Toast's contract. I don't know. What do you think about Facebook buying the CSGO tournaments to stream on Facebook? They spent money on that and gave up. Will this be the same? I think that Toast's viewership will decline a lot right now, but I also think that the CSGO rights for were not premature. That's the word I'm looking for. So when I say they're premature, what I mean is Facebook gaming really wasn't ready to support ESL. And that was a big reason why CSGO didn't work on the platform, because for that time, the UI was still quite bad. There was not a lot of algorithmic discovery for CSGO on the platform. Facebook was kind of still figuring itself out and still kind of is. So this is still an early move from Disguised Toast. Like, but one of the things we try to do on the stream is be future focused, right? So like we try to look at something like this and say, well, what could this be in like a year if his contract is 2 years or 3 years? Well, the UI could potentially get a lot better. The algorithmic discovery could potentially get a lot better, right? It's possible that he could start being featured in feeds in places, and that Facebook will develop more resources, because they have a very big team behind this, where they are driving users to his stream, and then all of a sudden he starts to get way more press, and he starts to have more discovery than he would on Twitch. Oh, and then you have to consider also that Facebook has all of Instagram's audience as well that they can leverage too, right? So there's like, if I leave you with anything, it's be future focused, think about some of the opportunities that could potentially happen as a result of Facebook gaming becoming more serious about investing in people.